Hello Stampers, my name is Linda Bedinger and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Denver, Colorado. I'm so glad you could join me today. We're down to that it's already in December, so I've got Christmas cards for you, but they're super fast and easy. They use some designer series paper, and it's a way to use up some of your Christmas designer series paper. And fast and easy card, and this one can be a gift holder. I'm going to show you how to make it as a gift card holder and as just a Christmas card. So let's just get started. Okay, here is the card I want to show you, and this was inspired by a mystery stamping event that we had on a team meeting for a group of demonstrators here in town, and then I used that same thing with my team to do a mystery stamping, and I think it's just as cute as it can be. And this one that I made has the two little ornaments, so easy to punch out a bunch of these. And what I did was I took a piece of copper foil and ran it through the Subtles embossing folder, and you could run it through any embossing folder actually and get some different kind of looks, but I ran mine through that, and then this ornament catches the card closed and it opens like this. And in this case I left it because this could be a regular Christmas card, in which case I'd stamp my Lots of Love at Christmas around this way, and then I could write my message in here, and I could put another ornament in here. I could do anything. This one was meant to be a gift card holder. So what I would do in this case is take, and this is something I need this year, so I'm doing lots of these, and I'll share with you the ones that I've made so far. And I'm just putting a glue dot on either side of this piece that folds in, and voila, I've got a gift card holder. So in the case of this card, my gift card would go in here, and it says Lots of Love at Christmas, and then this closes again here and makes a cute little Christmas card. So I have to make a bunch of these, and I have made a bunch of these. Here's another one that I made similar to this, and I've made them. I was using my Brightly Gleaming paper to use up what I have left, and so I've put together 4 or 5 different versions of this, and I used Comfort and Joy, and then inside this Lots of Love at Christmas, and from Itty Bitty Christmas. And it makes this very simple to do. I did like a 6x8 piece of designer series paper and ran it through the Subtles folder and used some to punch out these ornaments and some to cut out these strips. And you can see there's lots of different variations here that one can do. So I'm going to put together a couple of these, and I've got one already cut here, and it is a piece of designer series paper that is cut 12 by 4 1/4. And then I used 2 pieces of very vanilla that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, because the designer series paper, now this designer series paper is fairly substantial, and it works better, I think, with one that has a little bit more substance to it. But to add some substance to it, I took this piece that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Let's see, this piece is 3/4 of an inch by, well, longer than I need so I can cut it to fit. Then I punched out my couple of ornaments then I used the Stitch So Sweetly dies to have a piece of paper here as a mat that is the larger one, and then this little piece to do Joy to the World. So let me show you how this goes together. They are so fast. I sat here for about an hour yesterday and made just a ton of them, and I need a few more, and so I just put some seal on the back of my larger piece of card, which is again 4 1/4. Oh, this one's out, darn it. 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it's a full quarter of a sheet of paper. Now, what I'm going to do is turn this over and fold it, because this is going to be the back of my card. And what I'm going to do is set that down so that it's right up against the edge on this side, right along the top, right along the bottom, and put that into place. There we go. And if it's off a little bit, then all you would need to do, see, I put mine on a little bit crooked, so I am going to have to do just a bit of trimming. So, but I'm going to do that later. So anyway, so that is what you're doing. You're putting this piece of paper on the back, and that gives this a little bit more substance. Then we've got this other piece of very vanilla. I can't stand it. I've got to do it. Now we have this piece that is 4 by 5 1/4 that can go into the interior here, and I have my Lots of Love at Christmas Time, and what I'm going to do is that's going to close like that, and I'm going to put my Lots of Love at Christmas right across here. And this has got the Pretty Peacock in it, so I'm going to use Pretty Peacock and ink up my sentiment, knowing that I'm probably going to end up putting that right across here. Lots of Love at Christmas. And watch how fast this is. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my snail to the back of my inside card piece. It's got just a little bit of a mar there. I can fix that later. But I'm going to center that on the inside, and now my card feels quite a bit more substantial. Now, the only thing you have to watch is, and I did put one together kind of upside down, and I'll show it to you by the time I'm done, and I know what I'm going to do to fix it. So this is, you have to watch your directions if you want to turn this into a gift card holder or money holder, that it makes sense for it to go this way. I'll show you the one I did where I ended up cutting my card and getting it all put together, and then when I went to do this, I realized that my paper was on there upside down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this one this way, put my messages on here, and make this close up this way, and when you open it up inside, I'm going to add another little pocket across here to use as my gift card holder. So that's the way I'll solve that. But if you're very careful, you just need to make sure that if your paper is directional, if you're turning it into a gift card holder, that you're scoring it so that you do it on the right side. So this piece of designer series paper, and we'll make one from scratch while we're at it here, just so I can show you from beginning to end. But on this one, all I'm going to do is add my glue dots on the side here. And there's my gift card holder pocket. And then on the front of this one, I'm going to do this bit of copper right here, and going to just go ahead and glue that in place. I'm going to put lots of snail because that's embossed on the back, and I'm not using my seal. So I'm going to go ahead and put that into place right along here. I'm going to trim that edge, and then on these ornaments, what I need to do is add some dimensionals to the back of this. I'm down to the bones on this one. And put this into place to be a card stopper or a piece stopper. So I'm putting that one right down here, and that'll hold my card closed. Now I can choose to put my other ornament right up here, and I think I will on this one. I'm just going to go ahead and add some snail to this one and put it down flat on my card right up here. Now I've got my Joy to the World, which is again from Itty Bitty Christmas. Yes, it is. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and add this to this label and put some dimensionals on the back of this piece here and here, and I do think I want some on the sides. I don't want this to rock, so I'm going to put some on this edges here. And put this in place right here. Now, what I did find is that champagne rhinestones match the copper. Isn't that fun? So I'm using champagne rhinestones on these pieces to add a little bit of extra decoration. And what I found looked kind of cool was, I need my pick tool for this. I took these largest rhinestones and set them here on my ornaments and put them into place there, and added one more, could be any size, someplace on my item here. And then because I'm using the Pretty Peacock, I have this ribbon that is that convertible ribbon that's Pretty Peacock on one side, and I think it's Old Olive on the other. So what I'm going to do is take this piece of ribbon, and I'm going to put it in place here. And let's see, if I make this about 20 inches of ribbon, you can get that around this and have plenty to tie your bow. So I'm just going to, now I saw some people doing this where we put it around the whole card, and that's what held the card closed. But I want to just put mine around this copper piece. Let me get my, so that my Pretty Peacock part shows. Now this ribbon, tying a bow is a little tricky in that you're trying to keep the Pretty Peacock side of the ribbon up and showing, but it can be done. You just use your ability to turn the ribbon so that you end up with the color that you want showing up, and you make your bow, and now I just maneuvered my ribbon around so that the pieces that are showing are in fact the pretty peacock pieces. And what I'm going to do with this is, now that this is tied, and I haven't tied this down, I'm going to move that bow all the way to the bottom of the card so it's not in the way of the message or the closure. And I'm just going to use a couple of glue dots to hold that ribbon in place. And the beauty of the glue dots is, one, they can't be seen, and they can be manipulated to hold the ribbon to the side that you want it to show. And clip my ribbon. And there we go. There's my card all embellished and done. And I've got one that is a gift card holder. Now, I want to show you from start to finish on this next one. So I'm going to take my trimmer, and I'm going to take this piece of designer series paper and cut this piece at 4 1/4. Boy, can you use up old designer series paper this way. And then I'm going to score this at 2 1/2, and again at 8 inches. So 2 1/2 at and 8. There we go. And then let me move this out of the way. And then this can just be folded inward this way. And I am going to use my bone folder to get a nice flat. That's what's nice about using designer series paper. You can get a good crisp fold. And this is substantial enough that it won't tear. And so there's my 2 1/2, and there's my card ready to go. Now then, I've got one of my larger pieces again that we're going to put right on the back of this. And I'm going to refill my seal, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got my seal refilled. It's funny, once I got used to using the seal, I really don't like using anything else if I can avoid it. Okay, so I'm going to add my seal to the back of my card. And now that's the back of the card. I've got the two pieces folded inward towards themselves. And then I'm going to try to use, maybe if I use my grid paper, I can get this on here perfectly straight. There we go. That looks pretty good. Other than it's a little long on this side, that came out well. All right, I'm going to trim this little piece off here. Okay, now on this one, what I did was I took this strip and pretty peacock, and I ran it through an embossing folder, and I'm going to show this one. No, I have to show it this way. Okay, I'm going to show this one using, instead of the copper, using this bit of cardstock that's been embossed. I used one of the ones for the new trimmer that's out, the small trimmer, one of those small folders, and if in a second here I maybe can get up and get it so I can tell you exactly. At least it will be listed below the video. Okay, so I'm going to set this down on my card so that it's straight. Isn't that rich looking? Gosh, I just love this stuff. And what I did was I ran that little message piece through the embossing folder as long as I was at it. I did a plain one, and then I ran one through, and I really have to say I like it better with the embossing on it. It matches pretty well. So I'm going to take my Pretty Peacock ink, and I'm going to stamp my Joy to the World message on here. I'm going to get it a little closer to me so I can see what I'm doing. And in this case, I'm making Joy straight and To the World goes up. So now I'm just going to add some seal to the back of my tag. And put that in place on my embossed backing. There we go. Oh dear, that wasn't dry. So I'm going to have to take that off and do another one. See if I can coax that off there without tearing things up. I can. Okay, so I'm going to do that again. And it wasn't dry, so when I flipped it over on the mat, it picked up a shadow. Joy to the World. Okay, this time we're going to let that dry. Meanwhile, we're going to put this one up on dimensional. Put this one in place right here, and put my Joy to the World that now should be nice and dry, and I'm going to set that right here. I love the combination of these two dies together. I think it makes just a really pretty sentiment. Now I have got to put my smaller piece of Very Vanilla on the inside of my card. This one is awfully pretty in that the inside of it, the back of this card, is very complimentary. Most of them are. There's one or two that I wasn't crazy about, but most of them are quite nice. So I'm going to do, I forgot to do my little inside message. So I'm going to take my Pretty Peacock, and I'm going to stamp my Lots of Love at Christmas right there on the inside. Then close up my ink and add my glue dots. There we go. All ready to go. Now on the front of this, I have two ornaments left here that I had that were copper, and I'm going to do that same thing. I'm going to add some dimensional adhesive to the back of this ornament, and then use that as closure to my card. So I'm going to set that right down there so it closes the card, and this piece I'm just going to put flat on the card with a little bit of glue. Now on this one, this is that pretty copper ribbon. Isn't that nice? So what I think on this one I'm going to do is I'm going to go around my card once, and then I'm going to tie a separate bow and put it into place. So I'm going to put my ribbon right here around the card, and I'm going to secure one end down with a glue dot. And I think once again I'm going to put my bow down here towards the bottom. So I'm going to put my glue dot in place and bring my ribbon around and secure that ribbon with that glue dot. Then I'm going to come up from this side and put another glue dot down right here so that I can have this be exactly in the place that I want it. I'll trim that off. Then I will tie a little bow with my ribbon. And cut off my ends. And put my ribbon on with one more glue dot right over the seam of that ribbon right there. And now I can add a couple of gems and this project will be complete. Let's see, I need my pick tool for this. I'm going to pick up one of these big gems and put it on my ornament. I just think these came out so pretty. They're going to make just lovely little gift card holders for some of my nieces and nephews. Okay, so let's get this stuff out of the way. These are the two that I made today. Then I'm going to lay some of these others out here so you can see the variety and the kind that one can put together using different elements, going different directions, and aren't those fun? So a very fast project to get done to do gift card holders. And again, this can just be a Christmas card. If you don't tie this down, it opens up and has your Christmas message on the inside and is a fast and pretty Christmas card that you can knock out a whole bunch of them in a little bit of time. If you cut all of your pieces first and run your embossing pieces and then cut them and do it in an assembly line, you can spend a little bit of time prepping and then you can knock a bunch of these out in a hurry. So that is my project for the day. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel today. I do so appreciate it. And if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Or you could join my team. Now there's a fabulous offer coming in January where you get your normal $125 worth of product for $99, and then you get 5 extra packs of designer series paper in some of the in colors and some of the regular colors. And so it's quite a nice deal to join and get all of the colors represented, or most of the colors represented in designer series paper right out of the box. pretty good deal. Now, because I'm past 20,000 subscribers, I am doing a prize draw with every video that I'm doing in January. And so my prize draw this time is a package of the holiday rhinestones. You get yourself in the drawing by either subscribing to my channel if you're not a subscriber and you let me know that you did. And the second category is if you're already a subscriber, if you share the video, then you also will, there'll be 2 prizes given with each video during the month. And as we get closer to the end of the month, I'll be doing some more stamp sets and die sets and other kinds of things as prizes. So my prize for the month of December is the Birds and Branches bundle, the stamp set and the die set. And how you get yourself into that drawing is by putting an order of any size on my website, lbedinger.stampingup.net, and you can get to it through my blog, www.ingenuity.com. Okay, that's it for me today. Thanks so much again for stopping by, and I'll be back soon with more cards, more projects, and more tips. Bye!